Hi guys. So today we're going to talk about trauma bonding and why it's so insidious and why it sneaks up on you and why you don't understand it and how easy it is to break down once you understand yourself. Okay? So here's the thing about trauma bonding. Okay? When you first meet someone, when you are totally unaware, okay, and you're completely attracted to someone and you don't understand why, okay, that's because this is running on autopilot. This is running on autopilot. See, you're already seeking yourself. You're already seeking yourself. So as a result, when you fall for the narcissist, the reason it's so easy to fall for one is because it is you. The narcissist is all the rejected aspects of your experience, all the things that are unhealed about yourself, everything that needs your attention. And as such, their ability to mirror you back as something healthy and initially beautiful is what draws you in. You've essentially fallen for yourself. And then when the real work comes in, the unhealed stuff, that's what you're there to do, is set the story right, fix it. In other words, a narcissist's power over you is their need for them. And since they know that, they can manipulate you any which way you want because you haven't figured out that you are the source image, and so therefore you're doing it backwards. It's the same thing when you want something that doesn't want you. Okay? The reason you want something that doesn't want you is very simple. You have a rejection wound, and so your obsession with this person that doesn't want you has more to do with awakening your rejection wound so you can correct it in yourself. That way the obsession ends. The obsession ends. But here's the kicker. The most important part. Yeah? Most important part is this. As soon as your obsession ends, as soon as your need ends, everything is drawn, including the person that didn't want you. That's not why you do it. It's a byproduct of you choosing yourself. And so if you do it for and this is the tricky part, so I said it's so insidious. If you do it for the reason of trying to get someone, obtain something, do something, you have an outside focus. This is why you don't have it. You can't want something and have your desire at the same time. I know you think it works that way. It doesn't. Your desire is only half of the equation. Half. Okay? Your desire is letting you know what is possible because of you. But it's only half the equation. If I continue to want something, what I am doing is creating the lack. I'm not trusting my spirit. I'm not believing that the desire was already given. Do you see how that doesn't work? So when it comes to love, if love is painful, like you spend more time lonely, you spend more time unhappy, you spend more time wishing that they were with you, you spend more time wishing that they were giving you attention, you spend more time wanting all these things desperately from another person. Yeah? Can you relate to that? Okay. Those are trauma bonds. Not healthy. And although you are working on yourself and fixing yourself, you will discover this by the way that you are being treated. And initially, the reason you don't realize you're trauma bonding and you don't realize you're seeking yourself is because you don't know yourself. You don't know yourself. Because if you did, you would already see that the universe is you. I know myself. I don't want anything out there. Please, it comes to me. So, again, okay, I can't convince you not to want your desire. What I'm asking you to do is put that on hold for a second. get to know yourself, get to understand the reasons behind, and address your core needs. Because if you give those things to yourself, you are actually following the assignment. You see, you are not supposed to desire someone's attention. You're not supposed to desire their affection. You're not supposed to desire any of these things. You're supposed to give them freely with absolutely no need. And since you are doing that, that's why you receive it. But if I'm wanting someone's attention, if I'm begging for the most basic of basics, then please, please, please understand that is your trauma speaking and driving your obsession. And you would swear, no, my desire is real. No, honey. Because as long as you're facing out there, you haven't realized that it's you and you're trauma bonding. You don't have to heal forever. But if you take the time to understand yourself and what's behind your desires, let me tell you something. You make healthier choices. You live a better life. You don't want what doesn't want you because you're not trying to fix a rejection wound. You won't go codependent. You won't need that way. Such a turn off, sorry. Such a turn off. The funny thing is, a codependent person is going to attract a withdrawer. Okay? Because the withdrawer must learn to receive and must learn to allow need in. And the codependent must learn self-sufficiency, be more like the withdrawer. When the two balance each other out, you mutually respect and love one another. You've succeeded. But you have to understand the assignment. You have to understand what you're doing. And you have to know the difference, because the only one creating your misery is you. There is no other. See, everyone doesn't like the healing. They just want to bypass it. And it drives me insane when you don't think like that. You will get to the point where you are healed in your awareness. Don't get me wrong. Okay? But don't bypass it. Because this is the story you came to fix to discover who you are. It was set up this way. Stop resisting the illusion and get to work. You are here for the sake of experience. Do it right. Now, I understand. Here's the problem. Here's why some of you can't relate to me right now. You haven't done this work. You haven't done this work yet. So you don't understand that the world is not outside of you. You don't understand that those things aren't out there. And so as such, your eyes deceive you into wanting what is not there. And so you will work harder than you need to. Working with me means you get the answer first. Have you ever done that? Do you remember in college, they gave you the answer and you had to figure out what the question is? Or you got the Cliff Notes version? Yeah. Working with me means that. I give you the answer. You have to understand why you do things. I gave you the answer. It's the shortcut. But you don't appreciate the shortcut unless you've done the work because you've understood it. Okay? If you can release your attachment to these things and you realize that everything you want is you and that you are after yourself, then you will understand your obsession. Perhaps my biggest accomplishment is working with someone for the past year. And for 10 years, she has wanted one person. The person that did her the dirtiest. Because it was her humiliation wound that was driving her attraction. So she couldn't get past the humiliation that he did to her because of the wound. And she could not get over her obsession for him because she was convinced that she could make him into her image. Because she knew the law. But she was going about it for all the wrong reasons because she didn't understand herself. So she embarked on this healing journey. So she went through lots of things this past year with me. And what she discovered is she no longer wants her desire. She sees why she was obsessing. And she even says, what the fuck? Wow. What was I thinking? And you want to know what the funny part is? That's why she's going to get him. Why she's going to get him? I don't want him no more. Because she understands the reason behind her behavior. And that is why I stand up here and I talk and I make videos and I talk to you and I talk to you and I talk to you over and over again. Because you have to understand yourself as causation itself. There is no other cause. And as such, you stop asking why, which is the reason of your suffering. I've made other videos. Please look at those to understand where I'm coming from. But if you're asking why of causation and you haven't understood that you were first caused, then again, this is the reason you're suffering. Which is why I said I give you the answer. It is your job to figure out how. And I can help you. I can help you. But if you question the process, if you question the motivations, if you're doing it to obtain something, then you've already are working harder than you need to. And although I'm handing you the answer, you don't understand. You don't understand. This is why I say, embark on the journey of falling in love with yourself. Make the effort to understand you. Make the effort to understand everything is you. Take the shortcut and everything will come to you. But as long as you think he has his own mind, he's doing his own thing, and it's not running on autopilot clearly, then you've missed the point, because the one expresses as the many. Everything is you. So I live this so much. I live this so much. I'll share a funny little story with you. You'll laugh. Okay? So John walks up to tell me something, and I'm like this. Oh. I'm going like that. Oh. Because I accidentally ripped my nail. You ever done that? Gone too far? Okay. And so I go, look at my finger. I accidentally did that. And he goes, you mean this? And he shows me his hand, the opposite reflection of mine, at the exact same time. I walk my truth that much. That's why I know what I'm saying. Meaning it literally mirrored me, so we both had matching injuries. One body, not two. And if I wanted to love anyone else, that would be required. I would need to see one body, not two. The division is inside of me. And when I bridge it, because I understand that this person is me, two bodies become one. That's love. It is a love without need. Is it a love that doesn't need healing? It is a love that is complete because it is respectful of the source within it that gives everything to you. Quite literally. I'm literally giving you guys the answer to getting your SP, to getting that car, to getting that promotion, to manifesting better relationships with your family. Giving you that answer. And the fact that you don't have it means you still don't understand. You're working only on yourself, not anybody else. There is no other. But if you don't understand the science behind your obsessions, because you don't understand what you're unconsciously doing is seeking yourself, then you will continue to seek yourself outside. You know what the problem with that is? Nothing's out there. Nothing's out there. But when you understand you're the source of everything, that you see with your eyeballs, that you have an individual view from your point of perception that is very unique. It is why you came to this earth. It is why you were born. It is your purpose in life. And when you stop running on autopilot, trying to fit into society and trying to do all this stuff, and you finally start living for yourself, you will understand that. But you created it all. You cannot bypass this step, or the world will continue to appear as if it is happening to you. This is called sleep. It's when you're unconsciously awake. It's when you haven't realized who you are, so you live in the dark in complete and total ignorance of the design. When you understand the design, when you know everything is you, when you do what God told you to do, and you have no outside idols, that's when you can have whatever you want. Like that. Think, feel, do. Done. Next thing. Think, feel, do. Done. Next thing. Think, feel, do. Next thing. You are not worried or concerned with their actions. If you are, you're doing it wrong. Your self-concept runs on autopilot, and your self-concept is what's animating the entire carcass. Now, I will be teaching a class on the Gospel of Thomas in which it explains this, because this is what's missing from the Bible. Remember, it was hidden, okay? And it explains this and breaks it down and tells you how to run and own your universe. And it explains that everything is a carcass, and it explains how your state is determining what it is. And it tells you how not to forget. It tells you all of these things. But even if it hadn't, even if I hadn't studied it, even if I didn't know it, this is what's already true, as you can see by my thumb story. It's a mirror. I told you guys I live this way. If I drink a detox thing, someone else gets the shits. It's one body. I truly live this. That's why I have it. But as long as you're divided and you are not understanding, recognizing your oneness, you have not mastered the design. You have an outside idol. You may be trauma bonding. You may not be. It may be a healthy one. But if it was a healthy union, you'd be happy. It's a smart choice. I don't suffer. I've never suffered in relationships. It's just not what I do. My mother taught me to choose myself first. So I've lived unconsciously by design in the way that God instructed. Now I'm lucky that way. However, I went back and I studied the design and used my life as proof and realized, oh wow, this is it. And thanks to my mom, I lived how God instructed. That's why I understand the order of operations. That's why I understand how the Bible is actually telling you what to do, how to do it, how to own your own universe, how to have dominion, because it was given to you already. You must realize what's driving your behavior in order to understand yourself. When you understand yourself, it's a very different way of living. And your total lack of desire for something outside of you, and rather instead you just give it in abundance to everything. You don't even need it. You don't care. Here, I have more than enough. So you just start sending out the massive type of love that's required for you to recognize yourself. Because this is what the Bible tells you to do. Love yourself like there is no other. First. Then treat your neighbor as you would yourself. Step 2. Those are the 2 instructions. That's it. When you consciously do this, no matter what they do to you, you have this understanding. You will eventually come to discover that you have become love. You are love itself. There is no other. You are love itself. And here's the beauty. Love is the only reality that exists inside every human being. It's the only thing that's animating our carcass. This is a carcass. This body, this is a carcass. Mortal, dead, carcass. Okay? Everything outside is a carcass. When you discover this, you change your life. Hi. Interrupting. Thank you. Thank you.
Sprinkles.
Thank you.
Okay, bye.
Bye. Sorry, you guys. I got some coffee. All right. Okay. Do you understand what it's like to know your...
Only white meat for him, not grease.
Okay. All right, Bingo. Come on.
Come on.
Sorry, guys. Sorry. Give me a second.
Oh, my bad.
Come on. Come on. Come
All right. Well, then no soup for you.
on. Sorry. We have workers in the house, too, and Bingo's a little nervous, so kind of working on that. Anyway. Do you see how it runs on autopilot? I wanted a coffee. I wanted it for 2 seconds. Do you see why I don't want things? They come to me. All I have to do is think, feel, do. Boom. It's not just coffee. I'm just using that as the simplest of all examples. You cannot want your desire and have it too. That's half the equation. When you understand the obsession, you can stop doing that. So, let's reverse engineer. If someone wants something that doesn't want them, is that not proof of how not wanting something makes them want you? Is that not proof? You're in the reality looking at it. If you want something that doesn't want you, are you not the one with the desire and they don't have the desire, so you are bringing the desire to them? That's called the law of reverse effort. That's why I keep telling you, stop wanting and understand how the desire works. When you stop wanting it, it wants you. Why? Because the desire is supposed to exist outside of you so that your universe can carry it out for you. That's what Moses did when he became royalty, the ruling class elite. You are that when you understand it. Literally. Sip a little coffee. You see how it works? This is why I try so hard. But granted, I know I'm giving you the answers to the test. I'm giving you the answers. It's so easy, but in order for them to carry out these desires and behave the way that you want to, your focus cannot be on them. You cannot be sitting there going, he needs love and he needs affection and he doesn't get it. Guess what you're doing, baby? You're not giving yourself what you need. They are mirroring what you need to give yourself in abundance, so you become the source of what you perceive as missing. And then that thing that is missing, that item, comes to you because you provide the completion. It's very esoteric. It's very woo-woo what I'm saying, but it's so basically easy when you get it. It really is. Okay? So, please work on yourselves only. Work really hard to understand yourself. The last step, forgive everything. Apply radical forgiveness. Radical forgiveness does not dismiss your human experience. It acknowledges it. And then it allows you to take your spiritual perspective and understand the reason for the design and see how everything is innocent, so you hold no one guilty. And then you allow yourself to have what you want. First, understand the reason behind your behavior. Because most of you have no idea you are trauma bonding. You were so convinced no, it's my desire, it's my desire. No. The universe is designed to show you yourself. It's always going to be that way. When you stop seeking out there and you stand still long enough to see you are the source, you will realize everything is you. Be still and know. Easiest, just hardest command in the Bible. Because what is required is for you to stop behaving like you've been doing that's not working, and see the higher picture and be that instead. And it feels uncomfortable, and you're going to say, oh, well, that doesn't apply to my situation, or they don't know what I know, or whatever. You will try to justify your current way of being. And yet that is the insanity, because it wasn't working in the first place. So continuing to be this way is the temptation you are trying to avoid to get to the other side. The recipe is think, feel, do. Think, feel, do. I thought I wanted a coffee. I felt the coffee in my hand. It was delivered. Think, feel, do. Yeah? Okay? It's not as hard as it is, but it really is about you, because when you value the time that you spend on yourself, when you value the time you spend trying to understand yourself, when you really, really get down to basics and understand what's behind your behavior, you are now conscious and you're off autopilot mode. And so now healthy you emerges. Now let me tell you what the best part about my client finally realizing that she was trauma bonding and not wanting this person. Okay? She's now free to live, but for 10 years, she held up her life. Wanting what didn't want her. Don't do that. Don't do that. I'm telling you. You ever had someone chase you for like 20 years because you didn't want them? There's your clue. Here's your clue. You're not supposed to want them. Not like that. Okay? You choose them smartly and not based on trauma bonds and wounds, because you've healed yourself. It is possible to be completely healed and make smart choices and have only beautiful people want to be part of your life and heal everything that you see and just totally be ready to do the work at hand in front of you every single day because you trust the process, because you know everything is coming to you because it is you. You understand you're the source. You are now at peace. You have become unfuckwithable because no matter what is happening, you know the answer. Even if it means doing the opposite of what you've done to get there and allowing your fear, your actions made in fear, to be the wisdom that means you do the opposite of. I promise you this is not hard. I've been telling you how to get your SP for so long now. I don't even know how I got in this trajectory because I don't even need an SP. They keep coming in abundance. Sorry. Our problem isn't that we want them. Our problem is they keep coming. There's too many options, too many choices. Because everybody wants to become this love and have this peace and have this understanding. You become the source of it. And when you're the source of it, this is the type of man that puts a ring on it. This is the type of man that says, yeah, this is the one I can't live without. She's my peace. She's my sanctuary. She's my home. She's everything. So you decide when you want to be that. And you want to be the one that everybody's chasing. And you want to be the one that feels satisfied in the freedom of being themselves unapologetically and being loved for it anyway. And I know it's insidious. I really know it's insidious because many times we haven't understood. So here's the problem with that is that, like I said, you might fall for a narcissist and be completely obsessed. And the thing is, you're obsessed with how it was in the beginning. Yeah? Well, in the beginning, you didn't know it was your own radiance, and so they were mirroring that back to you, and that's how they hooked you. So you get attached to the beginning and not what you have in the present that you need to fix. That's a trauma bond. But a healthy attachment is totally different. A healthy attachment is someone who's always thinking of you. They go to the store and they know what you like and they bring it back. They take you everywhere. They introduce you to family. They introduce you to their inner circle. You know their friends. You know everyone. They show you off because they're so proud of the person that is next to them. Now, how do you balance that out? Well, you honor the space next to you, because if you honor that space next to you and you say, no, I'm earned, they will do the earning. We're not supposed to put this effort that's ass backwards. You're trapped in reverse effort, and that is not why it's not working. As long as you do what they're supposed to do, you're doing it wrong. Match efforts, not compensate for them. All right, you guys, it's going to get noisy. The workers are back. I'm going to have my coffee, and I will be talking to you guys soon.